Hey, how are you? Lou from RV Habit. I was recently changing out my Coach battery, which finally died after 9 years. I replaced it with a good Die-Hard Platinum series. But while I was replacing it, I noticed one of the breakers was a little brittle and the reset button was broken off. So I'm going to replace that today. And it's basically a Bussmann circuit. You probably have these all over your RV in different places. This particular one I'm going to replace is up here. Now this is a 185 150F. I have a 184 150F, and the only difference is this little reset button. I'm going to put one in. The one I have doesn't have it. So let's bring you in and change it out. So the first thing you want to do is unplug your RV. Make sure your RV is not plugged in. Remember, you're dealing with all positive battery cables here, so you don't want to short anything out. And the second thing we want to do is go to the positive battery terminal, and this cable that's going to the breaker I'm going to take off, and it is of course on a battery post, the elusive 10mm socket. So we'll just take that off. And once that's off, we can work safely moving this breaker. Let's bring you in. I'll show you exactly how to look at that breaker. So this particular breaker goes from the auxiliary post on the breaker to the battery, and then from the line to the breaker goes back to my converter. So what this does on an RV is when this battery starts to get a little low, there's a switch in the back. It'll run power from my converter to keep my chassis battery charged. So first things first, let's take off this cable off the breaker. And this is actually going to be an 11mm because Bussmann figured everybody loses their 10mm, so why don't we make it an 11mm? So that's what they did. So take that off, and we can remove that. And then we can take, again, this is the line from my converter. The rig's unplugged, so this is dead. And remove that. And now to get the fuse off, we're going to use back to standard because, you know, we like to confuse things. This is a 3/8, and that's just bolted to the chassis. There we go. Okay, so when you're replacing this, you'll notice on these, on this, again, this doesn't have the red button. I'm putting the one with the red button, but it's the same breaker and the same amps, but one post says auxiliary and the other one will say battery. Okay, this one is a little backwards because it's actually feeding power from the battery from the converter, and that the battery is the aux. That is what's receiving the charge. So simple. We take this out, we take the new one, and we're just going to reinstall that right where the old one was. Line up the holes, start my screws, and get that in. Okay, that's nice and solid. And you'll see now with this red button, I can push this and actually cause it to break open and then just reset it. Okay, the first things first, we're going to reconnect the one to the battery post that comes from the converter. We'll get this back on here. And again, these breakers are plastic, so just, you know, not too tight, snug enough. They have star washers on them, so they grab pretty good. Okay, and the next part is we're going to put this post back to the battery. Put this on our breaker. There's actually a screw here, and I don't want this to touch, so I put a little tape here, but I'm going to hold this way over here, so when I tighten it down, it's not near that screw. And the last part is we're going to go back to our battery post. We'll get that on there where it's supposed to sit. Get our nut on. And just give that a little snug. And that's nice and tight. Cover the boot back up. And we're ready to reset the breaker. Good to go. And it's that easy. So real easy maintenance. Just remember, you're always dealing with positive. Disconnect the battery, disconnect your RV from shore power. To change anything, you don't want to ground yourself out. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you want any other tips or tricks, remember my website, rvhabit.com. I'll see you soon.